Alright, I immediately have to fucking open this up. That's new music. That's Forsaken! That's... And Bow to No One? Am I hearing that right? Yeah, that's new music. Hi, sorry. I got kinda taken aback by that. I am 90% sure that's new. I have not heard that before. Oh my god, Destiny 2, my favorite game, so true. Sorry, I'm currently consulting my friends of Destiny music knowledge to see if I'm going insane or not. That's fucking... That's... God, what motif is that? That's Tangled Shore. That, or, well, Tree of Probabilities, I guess both. Yeah, I'm definitely not crazy. Unless this is just music that, like, just some stock music that they bought somewhere that just happens to have those melodies, but this has Destiny style in it. Like, this sounds like it could be made by the old composer team, of which, like, a couple got laid off, right? Because the music for Final Shape and everything was finished, right? Or at least for the most part, before those layoffs happened. Da 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 da. Yeah, that's fucking Tangled Shore. I'm not crazy. Okay. Anyway, hi. Hi, chat. The stream is not starting for another 10 minutes, so we just got some chatting to do, I guess, until then. It looks like this music's just on loop for the remainder of the stream countdown. So that's cool. Yeah, it is the same music. Okay, so, I have not actively been playing Destiny basically for the entirety of 2024. So about 2.5 months. The only thing I logged back on for was to quickly finish the seasonal story in, like, the second week of the year. And I quickly hopped on like 2 weeks ago to get my skimmer, because I was like, that looks pretty cool. I only have 3 weeks to get it. Might as well quickly get that over with on a day that I had some time. But I have not done like a raid in probably 3 months, if not longer. I think it's longer. Like, it's been a minute. This is making me kind of fucking emotional, man. Because, yeah, like, the Destiny... we have a group chat called, the Disciples for Music, which is just, a bunch of friends that I've made through the Destiny music community, and like they help with composing, archiving, all that kind of stuff, and I consulted them being like, "Ayo, wait, is this new music? Am I fucking crazy?" And no, they're saying the same thing. It is. But... Ba-da-da-da. Oh my god, wait! No, Bresci's right! This is, fuck, I would have forgotten about this. This is the music that they played in the cutscene where Osiris wakes up, which is why the fucking Tree of Probabilities, motif is in there. but they never really used that full track, and I guess they made it for Plunder but never really used it anywhere, so maybe they're reusing it now? Huh. Cool. Well, I guess we finally have the full version of that then. So it's not entirely new, but we've never heard it in full without cutscene sound effects and all that. So that's cool. Okay. But yeah, like, for the people that are here today that know a bit of my past activities before Rosa Nagashi, like, I used to play this game daily for about 8 years, probably. Some ups and downs here and there, but like, this was my bread and butter. Content-wise as well, like, there were periods where I streamed nothing but this game, and I only made music. Voted yes, and now it's happening. Yeah, like, there's... For most of my YouTube channel's history, it's been Destiny, right? So just, I don't know, hearing this music, this is 100% a Michael Seacrest piece. This is 100% Seacrest, and God, that makes me a little bit emotional, because obviously Seacrest had been laid off from Bungie back in October. His music for Final Shape is done, but Seacrest was definitely my favorite among Bungie's composers, or at least he had cemented himself as my favorite, basically ever since Beyond Light. He was already doing great stuff before then, but Beyond Light was really where, like, he became my favorite basically instantly, and Witch Queen made it even, like, cemented him even higher with Queen's Deception, Dethroned, obviously the Witch Queen main theme, which he fucking wrote. And then same in Lightfall, like, there's some great pieces from Seacrest and Lightfall. But, I don't know, it makes me a little bit sad, because obviously there is only a limited amount of Destiny music composed by him left that we haven't heard. And this is one of those pieces? Probably. I'm assuming this is a Seacrest piece, just based on how it's composed. I am 90% sure this is him. Did he do Deepstone Lullaby? Yes, that is indeed Seacrest. Seacrest did do Deepstone Lullaby. He also did The Farm. He did Tree of Probabilities. Yeah, Seacrest is... I actually made a playlist on Spotify that was... Oh, there we go. I made a playlist on Spotify that was, like, specifically filled with Salvatore and Seacrest music. Seacrest did The Farm, Tangled Shore, Deepstone Lullaby, The Witch Queen, Queen's Deception, All That Matters, Herald of the Witness, Strength, Discovery, Hold the Line, King of the Mountain back in D1 in Rise of Iron. He wrote the fucking Pyramid theme. Salvation is Seacrest. The Pyramid synth, like, that's him, right? And that's been fucking everywhere. Hey Derek, what's up? So, in terms of my expectations for today, this is specifically labeled as a developer live stream and not as a showcase. I'm kind of expecting 2014 Bungie again, or like 2015, like House of Wolves, where they did like the individual reveal streams. Oh, we're doing a stream for the Prison of Elders, and then we're doing a stream for Trials of Osiris, and you know, that kind of stuff. Because they're doing 3 of these over the next 3 weeks, right? And they said that each individual stream would focus on a part of Into the Light. So I'm expecting today to just be, like, the general new stuff that's coming. Maybe, like, new activity that's coming, or a couple new missions. The thing is, I have no idea what to expect, because this is the first release in a very, very long time that doesn't adhere to, like, the expansion or season format that we're used to. 30th Anniversary was kind of an exception, but that was still, you know, a paid pack, and we knew from the get-go that it'd be coming with a new 6-player activity and the new dungeon, and that was most of it. Like, we knew that from the get-go. It would mostly just be a bunch of new armor and cosmetics. it would be a new free 6-player activity and a new dungeon that would be paid. This, we know nothing, right? We don't know, is there going to be a new activity? Is there going to be like a new area? Are there going to be new missions? Is there going to be a new strike? Like, I don't fucking know, right? So this is the first Destiny update where I legitimately have no idea what to expect, and it could be anything. My expectations are still fairly low. Obviously, I know this update has to have been made in, you know, just short of 3 months, right? Because the final shape delay, as far as I'm aware, wasn't internally confirmed to be happening until the end of October. So, and obviously Bungie is very adamant about their holiday break, so a bunch of them had 3-week holidays over Christmas, where they weren't in office or they weren't working, which, good. But that means that, like, this update has, at most, like, 3.5 months of dev time put into it. And that means I'm not expecting much, because that's less than the average season does, right? DMG is gifting 20 subs? Aww. Wait a minute. Bro, DMG, what a Chad. Glad that he's here. Shout out. I miss the dude, I'll be honest. But yeah, like, I have no idea what to expect. My expectations are pretty low. Honestly, what I'm just hoping for is that this update is legitimately just going to be a preparation for Final Shape. You know, Bungie has kind of a weird opportunity here in the development cycle of a live service game. Normally, like, you're locked into a specific release cycle. Bungie's been locked into 1 expansion every year, 4 seasons every 3 months, or 1 every 3 months, and that's it, right? And this is kind of the unprecedented opportunity that they have to spend 3 months of time not having to adhere to that format. They don't have to make a seasonal activity. They don't have to make a weekly story. They don't have to make a new exotic quest. All they have to do is just spend time improving the game. This is a free update. We are getting character recustomization. That was coming with Final Shape, I'm pretty sure, Archer. They did confirm that we are getting an overhaul to the character creator and that everyone will be able to change their character's appearance for free as many times as they want, with the only restriction being that you're not able to change race. You're not able to change between exo-human and awoken. They did say before Final Shape? Oh, that might be with Into the Light then. Oh, fantastic. But yeah, like, this is... They have the opportunity here to really look back at the core game and make updates to it that will make Final Shape, when it eventually comes out, nicer to play. Like, they have the opportunity here to fix up a lot of the core issues of the game without having to also build a seasonal activity and build an exotic quest and build, you know, everything that usually comes with a season, right? They can just do the things that are right for the game right now. And if I have any expectations for these 3 streams, it's that we get to see some of that. Hey, Tom Farnsworth.
All right, hello everyone and welcome.
Who are you?
Bungie HQ in scenic Bellevue, Washington.
Andy Salisbury.
My name's Andy and I'm going to be your host today, and today we have the distinct opportunity to go ahead and show off some brand new stuff coming in Destiny 2 Into the Light. But fret not, I won't be the only one going ahead and telling you about it. I'm joined by 3 members of the Destiny development team who we'll go ahead and introduce here right away.
Tom!
To my left, Mr. Tom Farnsworth, how are you doing today?
Great, thank you, Andy. I am doing great. I had coffee, breakfast on the way here. I'm a little.
Do we need to turn the audio up a little bit, chat?
All the great work the team has done the past many months. And just for context about me, I'm the creative lead Into the Light, and I'll be here with you the next few weeks to talk about it.
Looking forward to it. Yeah, we've got a lot of fun stuff in store. And of course, we're joined by senior narrative designer, Mr. Jerome Viernich. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. Also had coffee.
Nice.
On the highway while screaming at passing cars.
Quite a drive in as well. And for the folks at home who may not know you as well as we've had the opportunity to learn about you over the past couple days, who are you and what do you do here at Bungie?
I am a senior narrative designer, which means if you hear a character say it, or if you read it on screen, one of us typed it into a tiny little box at some point months before.
Hanging out with Excel lots these days?
Absolutely.
There it is,
Tiny words, tiny boxes, that's me.
It's an important tool, obviously.
Absolutely.
And of course, last but very not least, one of the most deadly I've ever seen to rock the thumbsticks, especially in these past couple days, the one and only Mr. Noah Lee, activity designer here on Destiny 2.
Hey everyone, my name is Noah Lee. I'm an activity designer on Destiny 2, Into the Light.
On Into the Light. All right.
And I have the distinct pleasure of introducing us to Onslaught so we can see all
What the
really
fuck was
cool
that?
things that we have in store. I'm a longtime player. I've been playing since Destiny 1, and as a player turned dev, I'm excited to show off all the
Player
stuff we
turned
have
dev.
planned.
I feel like that's a lot of Bungie.
Awesome. Well, hey, welcome. You guys, thank you so much for taking time to join us. To everyone in chat, I see a lot of activity in there as well. Thank you very much for taking the time to join us today as well. But yes, today we're going to go ahead and kick things off by looking at Onslaught, which is a brand new activity coming
new
to
activity.
Destiny 2 Into the Light.
All right.
For those of you out there that are Twit enjoyers that have had a chance to go ahead and see what we've been posting the last week, we went ahead and released some key art last week that is now up on screen. You can see here. There's a lot going on here. So let's go ahead and just start. Tom,
activity in the last city.
About what Onslaught is.
Yeah, so Onslaught is a new free-player activity that's the kind of the core of Into the Light. It's available to all players.
Yeah.
Yep, for free.
You can kind of see in this key art, like this is a kind of aspirational view of what Onslaught is in game.
Yeah.
It's a new wave defense activity.
Wave defense. All right.
It
Finally.
takes inspiration from a lot of modes we've looked at like in other games and our games.
Yeah.
Throughout our kind of history, and you can see here you're in the last city.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited that our players are going to be able to, like, the Guardians are going to be able to hop into this space and defend the last city and eventually take the fight to the Witnesses' forces here. And you can kind of see.
So it does have actual story implications.
Guardians. They're kind of ringed in defenses.
Yeah.
You also got like the pyramids in the sky.
Right, yeah.
And there's even some like kind of pyramid terraforming going on in the background.
Okay.
The city itself too, yeah.
Yeah,
They are at
the
our
city,
doorstep.
and there's a few other locations too, but maybe we'll talk about later.
Talk about that later. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, also
Okay.
too, Jerome, this is, not the first time obviously we've ever had to go ahead and defend ourselves on our own turf, but never quite like this before. Our heels are dug in. We're in the last city right now. Can you tell us a little bit more about what's going on here?
Absolutely. So for the past several seasons, the forces of the Witness have been closing their vice grip around the Sol system. The Witness is inside the Traveler doing nefarious deeds, enacting the final shape.
Right.
Time is on its side.
Yeah.
Yep.
We have worked with ancient magics, esoteric rituals, bargaining with our old foes in order to send someone through the portal and establish a bridge, and we chose Crow.
Yeah.
Now, until he makes contact with us, we are back at home sharpening our knives.
Yeah.
Now, the Witness, of course, will do everything that it can to keep us on this side of the portal.
Yeah, he doesn't want. They don't want us to get in.
Every bit of its resources, every part of its power against us to keep us pinned in the last city.
Yes.
So this is about breaking out and discovering new power, right? Sharpening ourselves,
New
finalizing
power?
our builds, and getting some new toys so that we can face down the Witness.
That's right. And we're
New
also getting
toys?
some help from a tried and true sharpener of Guardians as well. Shax is going to be helping us out as well, right?
Shax!
Absolutely. Where some see calamity, Shax sees opportunity. And he is going to be opening up his arsenal for us to enjoy. I think we'll hear about that next week, right?
Oh, yeah.
And,
Guess that's why he had some new voice lines
I'm really excited
in
to
this
play
season,
with
huh?
him.
Awesome. As someone who spends a lot of time in the Crucible, it's always good to spend more time with Shax. Inspirational,
yeah.
to say the least.
Absolutely, at high volume.
Yeah, honestly, it's the best part of him. You just throw more grenades. Reminder to everyone.
Never go wrong.
May it be a hint to us all. And of course, Noah, there's a lot also too going on here. I see turrets, I see other activity defenses.
That book that they have laying on the table there, the Destiny 2 art book, I have that.
About what we're going to see when we dive in to play some Onslaught.
That's like
here live in
behind
just a
me.
bit.
Yeah, of course. So something that's really cool about Onslaught compared to a lot of our activities in Destiny is, like Tom said, it's not an offensive, it's a defensive. Our goal is to defend the ADU, or Advanced Defense Unit, which allows us to build our defenses like turrets, tripwires, decoys, and the main goal is to make sure that that thing stays up
Destiny Tower
for all of the
defense,
waves that
let's
you're fighting
fucking
in.
go.
If that goes down at any point, regardless if you're on playlist, normal, or on legend difficulty, your game will end. So
Oh,
the main goal
shit.
is to
Okay.
keep your
3
defenses
difficulties.
safe, build
All
them
right.
up, upgrade them, and try to get as far as you can.
Yeah, legend difficulty. Interesting. Already dropping some hints. I like what I'm
Okay.
hearing.
Okay.
You know, I had to do it. And another thing, just really quickly,
Yeah,
we
please.
had a lot of learnings from some of our activities in the seasons, like deep dives and the coil, where we know players like when we escalate difficulty over
Yeah,
time.
the roguelike
That's a
mechanics.
key
Those were
feature of
great.
Onslaught. You go from wave 1 to wave 50, each 10 escalating in difficulty as we're
Nice.
seeing gameplay.
Good.
And that serves a really cool opportunity for players to test their builds.
Good.
And, you know,
Good.
the waves of
Tell me
enemies that
there's
we're
a
fighting
solo
against are
mode
the
and that it
whetstone by
scales
which
on
we're
fire
sharpening
team size.
ourselves.
Excellent.
Please,
Yeah,
I would be
Skillcrafters, you're
so
on notice.
happy.
Be prepared for what's to come. All right. Well, I say there's no time like the present. We are seeing a lot of requests in chat for gameplay. I think we
Show
can go ahead and dive
gameplay?
on in.
They're showing- they're
Throne
actually
World.
showing
Noah,
gameplay?
would you
Okay.
mind returning to your throne world briefly to go ahead and kick things off here.
My tithes.
Obviously, yeah, we got to get some tithes for the man himself. In the meantime, really quickly, obviously, with Onslaught being a brand new activity, we're going to kick things off in a very different way. Can you tell us a little bit about what we're going to see when we go ahead and start things off?
Yeah, you're going to see it in the gameplay here in just a second, but Onslaught is about kind of establishing a defensive kind of like beachhead in these contested territories where we're like trying to claw space back from the witness.
Certainly.
And we're going to see it in Midtown here in a moment. And
It's in
the
Midtown,
players,
fuck's
start off
sake.
with you and 2 other maybe friends.
It's an old Crucible maps. All right, that's
you play with
makes
all the time, or
sense.
maybe you match make you in with.
That makes
And,
sense.
You're going to push forwards with Shax's Red Jacks that
Yeah.
you're going to see here. You'll establish a defensive area. You'll deploy the advanced defense unit, and then you'll start placing defenses.
Yeah.
As Noah said, there's turrets, there's trip mines, there's
Yeah.
decoys. The decoys is our favorite little sweepy
That's
bot.
right. Yep.
And,
I mean,
uh,
to be
help once
fair,
again.
and you can
those
upgrade
areas
those
being
too,
used for
like, the way the
PvE,
activity
like
works is
that's
you
not
defeat
really.
enemies to
We've
collect
never
scrap.
fought enemies
Yeah,
in
they're-
there,
they're
so I don't
currency,
mind
and then you can
PvP maps
spend
being
that to
reused for
deploy
that
these
at all,
defenses. And you're gonna have to be
especially
kinda
with how
selective, like,
short
each of these
the dev
defensive
time on this
locations
was.
can move around throughout the activity.
Right. Yeah.
And here we go.
Oh, awesome.
We already
This
got
is
some
gameplay
action
already.
here.
Yes.
So we're over here trying to create a foothold for our ADU, supported by Shax's lovely Red Jacks. You know, we know and love them. And as soon as we've cleared out
that is
the
easy
elixirs
music.
that are here, or the fallen, our ADU's here. As we see, we got some batteries in tow, and this begins our first really interesting part of this activity, which is our purchase phase. Killing enemies will grant you scrap, like we see in the top left, and we have 30 seconds to pick one of a suite of upgrades. We have tripwires that you can buy for 1,000,
Right.
decoy, which is our lovely sweeper bot here, and
Why would
turret.
you buy
I know
a
people are very
decoy?
curious about turrets, so I'm just going to buy this first.
There we go.
But we have our lovely guests, Clayton and Ashley, who have helped create this activity in our playtest team.
Why the
They're with
fuck
me
would you
helping
buy a
fill out the
decoy?
fire team, and they're building their defenses.
It's always best to have some solid teammates. And also, for the folks in chat noticing some weapons, go ahead and just go ahead and observe everything you can possibly see on screen. Oh, it's okay. We're gonna have
Midnight
plenty of time to
Coup!
pick those inventory
Hey!
screens. But in the meantime, yeah, chat is connecting some dots with the things they may have seen in the key art. But also, too, so Jerome,
That's back.
we're here obviously going ahead and doing
Oh.
this for a reason, right? The ADU is here for a purpose. Can you help us understand a little bit
Those
about
are- that's
the role
just
that
forges.
plays in the defense that we're mounting against the witness?
That's
Absolutely.
just forges.
When all of the Guardians and their allies enter the port to face down the witness, Earth will be essentially undefended.
Yeah.
So it's
Right.
important that we establish solid defenses now.
Okay, so they found the narrative way
and claw
around
back
it.
as
All
much
right.
territory as we can in advance of our assault.
Hung jury.
I also want to just point out,
Okay.
I know we're not going to be able to look at it, and we'll see the weapons next week,
Oh, yeah.
but we've got some beautiful new lore
Yeah.
on those weapons, and so any of those lore hounds, make
Yeah.
sure you check out those tabs.
Yeah, it's
Really nice.
we will be only maybe looking at whatever happens to show up on the stream today. But yes, this is the Brave Arsenal, as it will be known. Players
Bro,
will
this
get a
is
chance
wave
to go
2
ahead
and they're
be more
already
intrinsically
eating
involved with
shit.
this. We'll have more information on that in the coming weeks. But yeah, for those out there that are observing maybe some previous Guardian favorite weapons out there, worry not. You'll have lots of information to learn over the next coming weeks.
So yeah, I want to kind of get started on kind of what players have been seeing since we've been talking about
Please,
activity
yeah.
as a whole. As we're able to see, like, the ADU has a health over its head right here,
Yeah.
and we have enemies in waves coming to try to defeat it. If you've been paying attention, we have high-value targets that are mini-bosses or elites.
Champions.
These repair
Sorry.
batteries. And for other attempted players, we can see that there are champions involved. So, bring your champion weapons. Make sure that you are well equipped for this. We have different waves and different augments like we're seeing on wave 3
Yeah.
that demand your immediate attention.
Yep.
We know Destiny players like to run and gun, so we try to get you out of the space of the ADU sometimes so that you can kind of do those objectives to make sure that, oh yeah, I can explore Midtown and all these other spaces. when we have the other maps that you see.
Yeah, Crucible enjoyers know this space pretty well. It'll be a chance for everyone to go ahead and check it out.
Oh,
But
they did-
also,
they did
too, actually,
quite
no, thank you, Noah,
change
for
the
checking that
space,
out.
though.
Obviously, the pyramids have been busy in here helping to
Yeah,
go ahead and
okay.
mount this offensive.
So it is kind of just a new
Yeah,
arena.
honestly, they're
All
doing a
right.
great job. I got to give them
That's
credit.
pretty cool.
They keep it consistent. But Jerome, these are pyramid ships in our own backyard that are going to go ahead and just try
Yeah.
and terraform the city. Or can you help us learn what's going on here?
Well, they don't have to do anything. I mean, the Witness is doing what it wants to do, and if we don't stop it, then it's game over.
Yeah.
So they really just need to keep us pinned. The Witness is inevitable. There's no way we could defeat every one of the Witness's soldiers.
Right.
Okay.
There's no way we could, fight them one by one.
We'll try.
We have to deal with the Witness head on.
Yeah.
Inside the Traveler.
Yeah.
And we'll do that soon.
So also too, obviously getting to go ahead and send players away from the ADU is pretty significant when it comes to accomplishing all of the tasks in front of you here in Onslaught. But Tom, can you tell us a little bit about the defenses as well? Like I think we see some trip mines up already set and ready to go.
Do they like stun
You
enemies?
see the horizontal beams, those are trip mines. As you upgrade them, the colors will change. You'll be able to do more damage and kind of fire off more
Trip mines get more charges.
Yep.
And they get more in size. If you upgrade it, you'll go from 1 trip mine to 2, as we see here, which is really nice. I'm gonna keep going.
And then we've also got the turrets. Know if you could show off a turret in a second.
High enemy density for 3 players, though.
Those
That's
as well.
good.
When you can upgrade those three levels as well, they change color, they deal more damage, they get more health.
Yeah.
The fire rate increases actually also.
Yep, and then we've also got the Spvwvky who also, those decoys, mostly
attract
just gain
enemy
health
fire.
and change color a little bit. But the idea here is like each of these defensive locations, we're going to kind of
Yeah, the decoys seem kind of
defenses
useless,
for
I'll be
you to
honest.
deploy, and it's up to you kind of to make the best choices and use.
Oh, you
your
get a bonus
limited resources,
objective. Oh, okay,
the scrap that you're
nice.
collecting to make the best choices there, because you're not going to have all the currency you need right off the bat to deploy everything and upgrade everything. You're going to have to be like, no, we want.
And there's 50 waves, they said, so you can spend like
enemies are coming more from
40
this direction, maybe we
fucking
should have
minutes
these
in this
trip mines.
activity,
Yeah,
because
let's
they're on
focus
wave
our
5 and they're
attention
6 minutes
abilities maybe in
in.
a different direction. Let the trip mines and turrets do some work in a different direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something I want to bring up is we actually have a bonus objective going on right now.
Okay.
We have secondary objectives that occasionally appear
And they
in
give you
waves.
extra scraps?
And this one is just to complete the wave within a certain amount of time. And
Okay.
if you complete that while you're defending the ADU, you got to make sure that's alive. You'll actually get a reward, which is a heavy ammo crate that will refill your ammo. When you get higher up in the waves and you get more difficult enemies and like larger.
Is that a
waves
Vex
of
portal
stuff,
back there?
Like, that is definitely something you're going to be trying to get.
Yeah.
And that kind of ties into the team coordination you can do.
That's
if
Midnight Coup,
you
Chelsea.
have a good team in the higher
That's the
difficulties,
Leviathan hand cannon.
you're going to need a little bit more coordination. You might need somebody to go out and do the augments and somebody to go out and do the critical objectives.
Yeah, and also too, so just to make sure, Tom, as well, this isn't the only ADU we're going to be defending in this activity. It moves
okay.
around the map.
So as
Oh,
Noah
it
said
moves,
earlier,
okay.
there's 50 waves in
Yeah.
our challenge version of this activity.
Okay.
There's a
Oh,
playlist version,
okay,
which
so
is
after
just
5 waves,
one
you move around.
Location.
Enter the
Easy,
pyramid.
quick,
Oh,
fun to hop
shit.
into. You do 10 waves.
Is this
and you're
new
done.
architecture?
And then
I think it
there's
is,
the
yeah.
challenge version, which we're showing here. So there's 50 waves or 5 sets of 10 waves.
Yes.
Is how we like to talk about it. And with each of those sets of waves, we move around the map between
Vow
three different
music.
locations.
Okay.
Right?
And so you'll start at 180.
Am I tripping?
You'll defend it. You'll take the fight to the witness for a little bit. You'll
Yeah.
come back, and then you'll build up defenses more, and then go fight a boss.
Yeah, which is what we're seeing as well right now. Like
Collecting a
pyramid
spark?
ship now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
this is
you're-
one of my favorite phases, where instead of
Oh,
defending
no,
the
wait,
ADU,
this
we
is the
take fight to
fucking-
them, and as you
No,
see, we
this is
cultivate
not
a
this
spark
is
of
not
light
new
as
architecture.
time to
This is
run it
birthplace
down,
of the Vial. This is the strike
destroy
area.
the witnesses, lieutenants, and do a fun backflip. Let's hope I can pull that off.
Do the backflip.
It's important. If you don't do the backflip, chat's going to be very upset. I can already tell.
Very.
Here we go.
Look at that.
Here we go.
Nice.
You make it look so
Oh,
easy,
hey, Shax.
Noah.
I'm just good.
He is good. He's doing pretty well. I'm not going to.
And then you get some defensive upgrades. Okay.
set of waves. So.
It's gonna get a little spicier later. The
Yeah.
first few waves are they're kind of like the training wheels.
Right, yeah. Because you were saying, too, there's a 10-wave version of this and a 50, was it?
Yes, there's a 10-wave version
That's
called
right.
Onslaught Playlist.
Okay.
If you're in for you want to be in for a short session, I think that's definitely the place for you. Onslaught, in our experience from playtesting, is really easy to lose track of time and just kind of keep going. You can always be like, just one more wave, a few more sets, and then you're like, dang, it's been an hour. Like, it's actually crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I like activities.
I got a question, if you don't mind. How do you
Mine is
decide
ahead of
whether
Bungie's.
to unlock new defenses or upgrade the ones you've already got?
So it really is a risk-reward thing. As we're seeing, like, when you upgrade defenses, they will exponentially increase in price, which means that you have to make a decision every purchase phase. Like, do I want to save my money to potentially upgrade something down the line, and also hope that that defense, lives long enough to be upgraded? Or am I just going to bite the bullet and buy something now that can help me immediately? My strategy usually is that in the first few waves, I will not buy anything to like just save up for later, and usually my teammates will do something.
Yeah.
I find it weird they didn't actually show like a trailer for Into the Light to start, though.
I don't think your teammates will be very happy with you.
It's fair. As always, keeping the comms crisp is very important, especially as you get those higher difficulty levels.
I doubt
we're
that
just
that's
in the,
that
kind
important.
of the fledgling waves of this right now. But yeah, when we were doing our playtest yesterday, things got crazy in a hurry. I hope we get to see some more of the craziness we saw yesterday.
I hope we get to see like I want to see wave 50
plenty to be discovered in this.
I want to see wave 50 on Legendary. That's what I want to see.
The ADU batteries will actually heal it, kind of similar to like Forges in the Black Armory from my real vets out there. And the ADU, the enemies are naturally compelled to come over here and like attack it. They'll shoot it, they'll knife at it. But also, if there's any enemies that stay in the radius of the ADU, you'll see it'll turn red and damage will start to tick. So that's when you need to throw your ADU
and the
batteries in there, and you'll
will
get scrap
heal
for that.
it.
But if your ADU's full on health, you'll actually get 3 times the amount of scrap. So it's in your best interest to try to keep it as healthy as possible.
Reward to have it be full health.
Interesting. So especially if you're really pushing for those later levels and like the 40s and 50s, maybe it just behooves you to hold on.
Oh yeah, it gives 45 instead of 15.
Let your abilities and weapons do the talking for a little bit.
50s are no joke.
Oh shit, we got yellow bars.
There we go. We got one of the bigger.
Bro, you got a
here's
super,
one of
man.
our augments,
You got a super, you got a heavy weapon, fucking
demolitionists.
use
We get
it.
These huge ultras that come in and just they're beeline for the ADU.
Yeah.
Bro, you got a fucking Mobius quiver.
Wave 40,
Use
wave
it.
50. These guys are tanky. They require a lot of attention.
No
And,
restricted
Making
respawning
it
though.
look easy as well.
Yeah,
I don't know if I like that.
I'm just that guy.
I feel like there should be restricted
Preparing for this
respawning.
moment. Also, too, actually, let's talk a little bit of build crafting. What are you running right now, Noah?
So I'm not treading new ground here. I'm a Night Stalker by heart. I got my Gerfalcons on. We actually, off screen,
Got your
we're
Gerfalcons
figuring
on
out
and
how
you
it's
don't go
pronounced.
fucking
But
invis.
Gerfalcons, everyone. So anyone who
Oh, there you
mispronounces it, that's how you say it. Doing that, I love Buried Bloodline. It's a great weapon from.
Yeah, so that was wave
Warlord's
10.
Ruin. I love the Catalyst. I'm
Yeah,
just doing
this is
that
the
because
birthplace area
we
again.
might see some
Just in
Tormentors,
reverse.
who knows?
Tormentor-
And I like the vision
Sorry.
when we're doing that because rockets aren't very effective against.
See, over the past day or so, as we've been getting prepared for the stream, I'll admit my jealousy for Buried Bloodline has only been growing. I'm a big fan of Graviton Lance. We get along very well, but I gotta say, the precision.
Okay,
that
so
you've been
you
getting
get a
out
rally
of
flag
Buried
with a
Bloodline
boss
makes me,
every 10 waves.
Upset that I haven't just gone ahead and buckled down.
I
and
don't
gotten
think
the
this is
farming done to get
pre-recorded.
that
Is
thing unlocked,
that
honestly.
new?
Yeah, great.
That
as
does
we
look like
see,
new geometry, yeah.
We are actually in the pyramid again for the boss. We're taking the fight back to
No,
the Witness's
no,
forces.
that's
And
Caretaker.
this brings up a really interesting
No,
part
no,
of
this is
all
Caretaker
of
geometry.
The boss phases where instead
Just
of
with
having
different-
immune shields or
different
immune phases,
textures, but this is
we have
100% the
different
Caretaker
augmentations
arena.
that allow you to
The three fucking-
increase your
the three
effectiveness
pronged
against the
bridges?
boss. So for
Yeah.
example, this one is augmentation well. If you stand in these wells and defeat high value targets, you will actually deal increased damage to the boss for the rest of the fight. That's something, because these are meant to be kind of like victory laps, like you've survived against the ADU, it is time to just, you're single-mindedly take down the boss.
Yeah. Interesting. Also, too, actually, really quickly, Tom. So I know we touched on there being 10 and 50 wave versions, but we got a question in chat from Tyrkanator. Is it random matchmaking? Do you get to bring your own fire team in? Both?
So playlist is random matchmaking, or you can bring your fire team in, and then I believe the challenge modes, of which there was a normal version and like a hard version, which goes up to GM. I
GM?
believe the normal version is match made.
We get GM?
We can correct on socials maybe for the second one. I don't think it's match made, but I think everything supports fire team fighting.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, obviously.
Okay.
And honestly, too, it never hurts to bring in your own GM crew if you're pushing 50 waves.
No, we definitely want
Good.
you to communicate
Good.
in that activity on the upper end, especially.
Yeah, I think that was
You're gonna have a much
floor
better
3,
time.
Archer.
Honestly. Also, too, actually, while we're kind of on that subject, I remember something you mentioned earlier was, kind of one of the goals, I think, from a design standpoint you were mentioning was that it's kind of just easy to get lost in this activity. The combat sandbox that Destiny has, sometimes you just want to throw down and just test new builds, go crazy, and this is something that really seems to facilitate that.
You might even feel it on the stream here as we're going to go deeper and deeper here. Like we defeated the first set now. We're on the second set. We're at a new defensive location you can see here.
I mean, they did say it has a legendary mode, so I'm assuming that's like minus
To break
20.
the fourth wall, we're developers, so we were able to change it to our other faction. It's not always going to be Fallen. we have the hive that were shown prominently in our poster art.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, for the more keen eyes at home, they may
What
have
music
noticed
is that?
behind the scenes, the faction has changed. So when Jerome mentioned it earlier, every single one of the armies at the Witness's behest is going to go ahead and be a part of this fight potentially. Or which ones
Still
are they,
EDZ
rather?
music.
Or if you don't mind me asking, I should say, Jerome. This is your.
Yeah, we've got Fallen and Hive are going to be
Sag.
pressing the last city.
No Last
but
City
the
music, which is
Taken
extremely
are
unfortunate.
definitely, active elsewhere.
Yeah.
They're sort of they're being marshaled for other purposes,
Interesting.
which I won't.
Other elements
Okay.
of the seasonal story are yet to be revealed. We'll let that obviously.
Seasonal
uncover itself
story?
further
Don't tell me
on
there's a
actually,
new
yeah,
fucking
there's
weekly
plenty
story,
for the
please.
Warhounds out there to go ahead and discover. Jerome, when you're putting together a story like this, obviously kind of helping us realize what the Witness's mission is, like what was kind of some of your inspiration as you kind of looked at this activity and the opportunity it presented to the narrative team?
We always start with the characters, like the emotions of the characters, from their perspective, how they would see things, how they would react.
Certainly.
And so that's what made Shaxx a natural fit for this. It's such a gear-focused activity. It's so ferocious.
Shield
We needed
demolitionist.
a voice that matched
Okay, I
that
don't quite
level
know
of
how that
intensity.
mechanic works.
Yeah.
And so that's where we came up with Shaxx.
Yeah, Shaxx is like the perfect hype man
Honestly.
for this, right?
Darkness empowerment.
It's
Do
so
you need to
great when
stand
you
in like
get
a
later in
circle?
the rounds, and he just kind of makes you feel like you can keep going.
I mean, that's his goal, right? The Crucible is not a forgiving place, and he's there bringing folks in every single day that he possibly can. So
He's been preparing us for this. That's what the
Yeah.
Crucible was for.
No, and that's a great way to look at this. The Crucible is
Yeah, no,
preparing,
that was, I think it was
fighting
hype
other guardians to sharpen
reputation, which
ourselves
is
to
for
fight a
Shaxx,
war.
but it's
This
not
is just
Crucible
fighting a
reputation.
war.
yeah, honestly, this is what we've been sharpening ourselves for. This is that moment. Also, too, kind of in that theme, we got a question from Cozy Spartan in chat. Are there any other weapons that are coming back? As a quick reminder, this is the first of actually three streams as well. So next week we're going to be talking about that. So make sure and mark your calendar and tune in. Today, this is just a taste of Onslaught and kind of a first look at what's to come in the brand new activity. Joining us with Destiny 2 Into the Light.
I'm out of money. I'm broke. No.
All out of scrap already.
So wait, they're only showing
I bought one
Onslaught
thing.
today?
I spent it all on these
That's
two
fair
turns,
enough.
which have been performing pretty well, actually. I'm a
I
person,
did,
I prefer
already,
to
if the
upgrade
second
a few
stream they're going to
things 'cause
talk
their
about which
effectiveness
weapons are returning,
is,
I don't see a
much more
reason to
heightened
split
when
this into
upgraded.
3
So
streams,
I
I'll
feel
be
like
honest.
If you all pool your resources to make a few traps really good, that might serve you well, but who knows? I know when you do Legendary and you're in GM, you're really going to need those defenses to help you out because those enemies are powerful and they are focusing down your ADU unrelentingly.
Yeah. All right, so we've touched on there are 3 different defensive tools at our disposal between the turrets, the trip mines, and obviously the decoy sweet bot. And those are upgradable, if I remember correctly?
Yes.
Correct. Cool. How far do those go? Like what level? Could it be 3? 3? Awesome. And as I understand it, too, there's a pretty steep progression as they go ahead and continue leveling up. That scrap really ends up being worth it.
They become more expensive, but yeah, they also it's not like a linear progression. It's more logarithmic. They kind of
Right.
jump up in power.
Yeah.
But you got to keep them safe too, right? The enemies, like you might get an augmentation where like one of those big knights or big fallen captains comes in and just smashes them.
Yeah.
And so you definitely want to try to keep the space clear.
Yeah, a brig drops in from low orbit and
That
just
happens.
smashes it into bits.
Yeah.
It's been known to happen. Who knows?
Now, in that instance, if one of your defenses is destroyed, do you repurchase it at level 1?
Yes, you
Yes, you have to
lose that.
repurchase the level.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's
All
one
right.
of the things you have to watch out for with trip mines. Like I said, they have charges, and they will just, they will go out on their own. But that's why they're so cheap. You're going to have to rebuy them once you run out of charges.
Yeah, and also I think I saw a question in chat. I missed the name, so apologies to whoever asked this. Is scrap individual or is it fire team wide?
So we've got an interesting way of doing it. So the fire team earns scrap together, but you each get to spend individually.
Okay.
So you can't
Cool.
mess up
Cool.
your fire team mates by like overspending. You've got your own little stock, your own little wallet,
Yeah.
of course, of scrap to spend.
So it kind of works
so you can
Risk of
coordinate
Rain.
if you want, or you could just spend
Risk of
how
Rain
you see
2,
fit.
like the
Yeah, generally, like
gold you
anything you
earn
purchase is
is
gonna help.
universal,
Yeah, and someone too, like in
but
the past,
everyone
I've
gets to
played,
spend it
personally, like a lot
themselves.
of
That's good.
Wave-based defense games. There we go. When it comes to the upgrades, I imagine, like you were saying, it's pretty logarithmic. Is there a feeling of wanting to, instead of getting 3 level 1 turrets, get 1 level 3 turret, for example? Like, is that power gain kind of the one you want to be chasing?
I don't
if
think
you're
that's a
pushing
new
those higher
Shaxx
levels?
voice line. I think
it's
that's an
definitely
old voice
valuable to
line.
do that as long
Yeah.
as you can keep it safe.
Absolutely.
Right? It's
Yeah,
like,
fair point.
sometimes it might be better to spread out the
Yeah, that's true.
the damage, but like a lot of that's going to vary, like what augments or which enemies are coming in.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be able to control that. You're just going to have to.
Yeah,
react.
no, this
It
is
might be-
literally
it might
the
be an easy
inside
way
of
a distant
Caretaker, this
thrall,
room.
Yeah.
But it could be a bunch of exploder shanks too.
Yeah, we made sure
Tom,
to
who
do
would put
bunch
a
of
bunch of
diversity.
exploder shanks into a wave? Who on Earth would possibly be responsible for that?
Huh.
You can blame Noah. You can blame me for drop pods. You can.
I do like the
I've
little
read a lot
riff
that
mechanic, though.
Everyone
That's
who's talking
fun.
to their therapist
Spikes and
about Cabal drop
coil,
pods,
you
you go
know.
ahead and charge that directly to Tom.
I think
on
that's
Twitter,
neat.
right now.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's just there's not a lot of enemies here, so it doesn't really feel like an
Noah,
escort mission. You're
Jerome,
kind
out
of just
curiosity,
holding
too,
W.
When it comes to kind of the seasonal story and where this fits in. So again, we're digging our heels in, fighting against the Witness, just sharpening ourselves. The next step pretty much is just to
Like,
go
he
ahead
doesn't
and
need to
hold out
shoot
for as
any
long
of
as we
these
can
enemies.
in
You can
preparation
just-
for that next battle, I'm assuming.
Absolutely. We're waiting for Crow to essentially build a bridge in concert with Mara, with help from Osiris and others. And so it's really the universe is on Crow's shoulders.
Yeah.
And we couldn't imagine anyone better suited
Yeah.
for the task.
Yeah.
Crow has come a long way in
That
a
is
short
true.
amount of time.
Yeah.
And I think he deserves an opportunity to show what he can do.
Yeah.
And I think he'll come through for us.
Still has uttered one of my favorite lines. Yeah, we went ahead and chased him into the astral plane. Well, I just shot at him until he ran away, but your way's better. Like, he's earned his spot. He's ready to go, obviously. All right, Noah, where are we at? What are we looking at right now?
So right now we're looking at one of our waves. Like I was trying to say earlier, we actually have a wide diversity of waves. Like as we've seen with the Hive and the Fallen, that it's not just fighting acolytes and thralls every time. We have different compositions. So this is a wave full of exclusively ogres and cursed thrall. Cursed thrall are nice because it allows you to chunk the ogres if they're grouped up.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
at the same time, they're cursed thralls, and as we see, they are just booking it straight toward the ADU.
Yeah, and they will
These
deal a
ogres
lot of
seem
damage,
very
probably.
dedicated to their task out of the gate, honestly. It seems like within a millisecond, they're
Oh.
just lighting up anything they can possibly see.
Signal disruption.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think they're
This is
very
a new-
dedicated to the witness.
bonus
and, I
objective.
think they're also kind of stupid, so they're just doing
Oh,
what
they're just
they-
special
what they know.
enemies.
I'm
Okay.
not brave enough to say that too.
Oh, no, wait. No, it's saboteurs. You need to destroy splinters. Where are they?
So we're seeing another bonus objective here, actually.
Oh, I see
which
them.
is
One's
there are
floating
gonna
up in the
be
air.
Pyramid splinters that spawn. That's a great. Now, where are they?
I think there's one up behind you, Noah.
Oh, right here. Look at that.
Yeah, bro. You're a little
And
fucking...
then if you keep following it,
And that'll spawn like a
kinda
special
leads you away
enemy.
from space, and can't find my disc.
There we go.
We're able to get
Trophy of Bravery,
able to
which is a
get
new
heavy
currency.
ammo, which I desperately need because my berry bloodline. Is
Gameplay is not final, subject to change. Yeah, I mean, it's
So
3
there's
weeks away
tension,
from
right?
launch,
When those
so...
splinters lead you away from the ADU,
Oh, spike
right,
mines.
you need to kind of have split your attention in two directions.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. That's
so
the thing that
somebody
we were
needs
really
to go
wanting
and deal
to
with those
index on.
mines then.
So for these critical, not critical objectives, for these augments, they
'Cause that's
kind
like- that's kinda like Prison of Elders
incentivize
then.
Players to like leave the ADU and kind of have roles. As we see, we got splinter mines and you have guards that are guarding them. We have Clayton and Ashley doing that for me while I defend the ADU, and that kind of means that you have less people defending. Like the wave is still coming
Yeah.
towards you, but there's things you have to do, and those.
I mean, I could
distractions,
see this
which
be
aren't
really
optional,
interesting
are,
at a
kind of
legendary or
reducing that
grandmaster
tension
activity.
and
I
kind
can
of
see
allows
this
for
being
interesting build trap
incredibly
decisions. Like, that's something I
mundane
kind of wanted to go into.
on,
Something that
like,
excites
playlist
me
level
as somebody who's
difficulty.
kind of seen
They
how
did
our
say the
seasonal
difficulty
meta
goes
kind
up every 10
develops
waves,
with
though, so
things
like I guess
Strand
that's
Titan
there,
and
but
Solar over and over.
you see how
Yeah,
many
I'm
enemies
interested
are
in
on that
seeing if
ADU right
interesting
now, and
things
it's like
come out of
barely
the
at
Onslaught. You're not trying to
70%
stay
health.
alive yourself. You're trying to keep this ADU alive, which is a object completely separate from you. So like it stays
Alright, so now you get a second
We're seeing
second
Ashley's
boss.
arc. She's using Arc Souls, which has proven to be really useful against the Fallen. Like, is
Yeah.
Risk Runner going to be something people want to use, or Trinity Ghoul, or Sunshot?
Bro,
We're gonna forget that happened. That's fine.
Yeah.
bro,
So
you
also,
for real?
when it comes to the build crafting element, I can probably imagine. what you're
imagine
doing, the GM
missing a
difficulties.
jump
Like,
on a
it's not just
Bungie
your own build
developer
you're worried
live
about, but
stream.
making sure you have that communication across your team, across champion mods, across element types. Like, there's probably a whole heck of a lot to actually make sure you're keeping track of throughout this entire activity.
There's a lot going on in the activity from a moment perspective. We have a bunch of different wave types, augments, different squad compositions and different bosses.
Oh,
that
it's a
we're
Master
seeing, and
Streaker.
augments there. So really, like, build is king. Like,
Claw
you're still
of the
shooting,
Witness.
shooting bad guys, using your abilities, using space magic, but it's all a matter of like.
That's
how you
Valve the
use it in
Disciple,
each
or no,
situation.
that's
Like,
Root of
maybe
Nightmares
you
music.
want something more offensive when you're fighting a boss, or bring in that spark and rift. But when you're in the ADU, you might want something that'll help you hunker down.
Actually, too, no, we're on that subject of augments. Something you mentioned yesterday I thought was pretty cool were boss augments as kind of the levels continue to
Maybe we
progress.
finally get
Yes.
Renaissance
Can you
High
tell us a
Action
little bit about
implemented.
those?
So we just did an augment just now that had capture points spawn in the arena. Oh, we have one right here. And what that does is that calls in.
Because we never got the high
turrets
action
that
of
will
this
eventually
implemented.
Come and help us out. If we call both of them, they'll all activate, and that serves to kind of get some heat off of you.
The high action's
Yeah.
on the soundtrack, but
And
it's
just
not in the
overall kinda
game. So
help
like,
you.
if that could be
These are
implemented
level
here,
3
that'd be
turrets,
great.
you know,
Because
you
then
see
we'd
they're
actually have the
blue, they look
full
really
the full
nice and
track.
spiffy.
Yeah.
I doubt
And
it.
again, you were saying at level 3, the fire rate
But it'd be
also
great.
increases
Yes,
in the
fire rate, health, and damage increases
not
for
bad to
them.
have.
But they cost 6,000 scrap, so you're going to need to save up a lot.
Okay.
I think it's 12,000 scrap altogether for like going from level 1.
Can you just roll that leftover Shrieker Eye into some enemies, maybe just for the? Oh, it fell off.
Where'd it
Never
go?
mind. All right.
Go full.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure these are
no.
just old Shaq's voice
The
lines.
void
That's a new
calls.
chess type, though.
All right, so what level are we on now, out of
was-
curiosity?
we're on wave 20.
Was that 20? Okay, cool. Awesome. Man, this is going well, honestly. Yeah, I will say, especially after yesterday, we learned that Noah is one of the most dangerous to ever wield the 2 thumbsticks out
Yeah,
there.
I
So all the
disagree
PvP
from the
streamers as
gameplay
well,
that
go
I've
ahead and
seen.
challenge him openly on the internet.
Hey, I go
Yeah,
flawless, you know, check my KD.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought you were the gilded one.
Well, I don't want to brag, but as a 4 times gilded flawless, I mean, I'll let
4
you guys back
times?
to that.
Wow. Hey,
Out of like 12 seasons?
I got Ribbons Bane back in Forsaken. Petra's run, that was tough. You know, all my
No, it
Ribbons Banes
wasn't.
Up there, we know what's up.
No,
And
no,
Shadows.
no, it wasn't.
got it.
Petra's run was
There's a
never
chapter in
tough.
Everyone's dream journal dedicated to that particular
I,
time. in
I
their
bet
lives,
you fucking
obviously.
cheesed Riven to get it.
Drop the Bungie ID, they're saying. Perhaps I'll leave that up to him. That is his.
Oh, I can do it. No, I'll do it. Check my raid report. Check my dungeon. Hey,
No, dude, don't do it. You're gonna get
Right.
yourself roasted on Twitter, man. Don't bring this upon yourself.
So new ADU, new location.
Yep.
yes, well, that's something I neglected to mention. So every time you do a boss, you will actually change locations.
mean, it's just the
and
3
let me just
capture
buy something
points,
real quick
right?
to save money, but the defenses you pick, like that you placed before in your previous locations, those will still be active. So that means that you building up your defenses over time. You obviously can't upgrade these since they're not at the location you're on, but
They will stay
help
up,
you when
okay.
the waves get harder. So you having a level 3 turret or level 3 decoy somewhere, that will actually help you out, and
Okay,
you'll be able
that's
to
pretty neat.
take aggro from the waves. Like we see, hey, the turret right there doing
Oh,
damage
they're
to
still
the knights.
helping. Okay,
That-
yeah.
It all kind of helps that feeling of feeling like you're the Vanguard and the last city, like you're helping to defend them. These emplacements are permanent and not just temporary.
Okay. You're really, really digging the
Nice
trenches
throw, dude.
yourself in. Okay, again. We'll put that on the list of things that chat didn't see. We get a veto. That's the one that everyone gets to forget. Sorry, chat, but that didn't just happen.
Everyone makes mistakes, man.
Also, too, actually, J.R. Bizzle in chat asks, are the rewards going to be tied to the wave you get to? Now, I know Noah kind of
Bonus
mentioned this a little bit when he was
objective.
referencing the quote
Relic
earlier, but,
collection.
you know, obviously, there's between the level 10, or pardon me, the 10 wave and the 50
Oh,
wave
it's
versions,
okay.
you know, what's
These
the
bonus
rewards
objectives
for
are kind of
So
weak,
if
I'll
all
be
the
honest.
activities,
Because
every
that's just
time you
enemies
beat
dropping some
10
shit
waves
on the
you
ground that you
cross,
can pick
you'll
up.
Get a chest.
Okay.
You'll get rewards.
Every 10 waves,
Yep.
you get, okay.
And then in the challenge mode, there's a normal and the hard version of those. In the normal version, you get a normal chest all the way until the last wave. You can beat the final wave.
Yeah.
You'll get double rewards.
Okay.
And then if you
Ooh.
play the hard mode,
Yeah.
you get additional rewards in all the waves.
Excellent. Okay.
And
Okay.
so like, there's some little surprises there too. We might have along the way that
Yeah.
at the end as well. Just if you're lucky.
Excellent. Yeah, for the ones that are really going to go ahead and try it a few times out, maybe there's an additional variable thrown in there from time to time. Excellent.
You
Yeah.
didn't need that ammo.
Also,
You
too,
haven't used
actually,
your machine
Kurt
gun.
Jones, 29, asks, how do revives work in this activity, both between normal and legend?
So that's actually a great question.
Okay.
Um,
Limited
as we
revives.
see now,
Please.
there is not. Oh my good lord.
Tormentor.
What a great
Fucking-
time to think critically. The Tormentor on your doorstep.
I can answer that for Noah. Noah, take down the Tormentor.
Why
The
do they
way
why do they
revives
have to
work
put
is, like,
f***ing tormentors in this activity,
the
man?
first 2 sets,
Yeah.
darkness is
Awful
off.
enemy
But when we
type.
get to the 3rd set, we
Yeah.
turn darkness on.
And
So
extinguish.
if you all go down, or the AD
Okay.
goes down, the activity's over.
That's it.
So Extinguish
you just take
gets
the rewards
on.
You got for the 2
And in
bosses
Legend,
you got?
that's on by default.
Yeah, you don't lose any rewards.
Yes!
Every set
Okay.
you complete, you'll get rewards.
Yeah.
But if you're halfway through a set and you fail,
Yeah.
that's it.
That's it.
Thank
Just take your lunchbox and go
fuck.
home.
Well,
Okay,
you can
that's
hop right
good.
back in the playlist. Or
That's-
hop right back in with your friends and
Yeah.
try again.
Which is what I'm going to do, frankly, honestly. Like when this was getting developed behind the scenes here, and we were kind of getting a sense of what Into the Light was going to be, I got to tell you, like just the I don't know, the ability to just go ahead and keep diving back in, testing new builds. I'm sure I'm not the only one who has every single one of their loadout slots filled with some hyper-specific loadout that I'm
Yeah.
deeply in love with in its own way. And so I feel like this is the exact right time to go ahead and just continue diving in and just, bolstering those those loadouts to begin with the Brave Arsenal, which again we'll be talking about next week. Don't you worry. But also too, is just get a chance to go ahead and really see how they can.
Petrus
they
Run
can
was
thrive in
challenging the first and
environments
only
just
because
outside of,
Clan
even
sucks.
as difficult as GMs can be.
Tried it back in
Find something that
2018,
really
we got all
pushes
the way
it
to
beyond
Riven,
that
someone
standard
shot a
level
rocket
that
at
we're
the
used
well
to.
sword and killed
and
themselves.
you're going to need to be ready for a lot. We're trying to
Okay,
throw a lot
but
of variety
also
if you're at the
Petrus
gym,
Run
combat
was not really that
factions that you're
hard
gonna be
if you had a
facing in the Fallen
team
Hive that
who
you
just
can
knew
randomly
the
be in there when you
mechanics
start
of
the mission.
Last
There's
Wish.
the
Because
multiple
the encounters were
defensive missions,
trivialized
and there's,
like 2 months
the
in.
progression of the waves. There's
Morgeth was
all these
being
things are kinda
one-phased,
working in together
Shirochi
kind
was
of
just
to,
a
like,
mechanic
test
check,
your ability
Riven
to
was
coordinate
being
a team and
cheesed,
your
Kali
ability
was
to-
being one-phased, Vault was
Also
just a
too,
mechanic
actually,
check.
Optimal Pickle in chat, wonderful name, I might add, is also curious. I know we just talked about scrap gathering, obviously, and how everyone kind of gets their own purse. Are you able to gift that scrap to other people, or you just get your own purse as a result of it?
You just get your own
Gift the
purse.
scrap,
Yeah.
but you can both. Like if someone places something else, you could upgrade it.
Oh, okay,
You
got
can
it.
coordinate.
Got it. They can drop to level 2, you can upgrade, or they can
Yep.
drop to level 1, you can upgrade it to level 2.
Yep.
Nice, very good. All right, that communication is going to be.
Yeah, we wanted to keep it simple and fast. Like we didn't want to have like we did a lot of work to make sure it was as streamlined as it could be because currency can get complicated if
Sure.
you're not careful about it.
In the heat of battle, honestly, yeah, it's like a sweeper bot,
Nobody
whatever.
wants to open their wallet and be like, "You got a 5?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Can you break 3,000 scrap? Is that?
I'm getting shot here.
That's right. Just a little bit. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ghost will help you out with that. Let's see.
We're getting up there in the waves, and they're getting a little bit more beefy.
Yeah, you guys are.
I haven't really
murdering your way
seen
through this
enemy
at no rate.
difficulty increase. We should have supposedly had 2 difficulty increases by now, but I'm not really seeing
You
it.
get lost in it. Is like
Yeah.
It might
this is
just be
gonna a
me,
great
but like
place
at least
to
enemy
go.
power
Yeah,
hasn't been
and just, like,
increasing
if you
because
wanna
like
do
there's
bounties, if you
no
want to do triumphs. You've got
Yeah.
things you want to level up.
there's no
catalysts,
swords on
like,
these
oh,
enemies,
man,
so
just,
you're
like, hop in onslaught and
you're
chill.
still like
You'll be able to really
at
like,
equal power.
tear through a lot of enemies and like.
Hear that, everyone? You can leave the opening gates of Grasp of Avarice, finally.
Or
Shirochi,
Shirochi, you don't have to farm there anymore. Don't have to put that wave.
No, there
and
people
some
are
waves
still going
really,
to,
like,
man.
hard, and other waves like if you've got a bunch of guys coming down a hallway,
Yeah.
unload your supers, unload your ammo, and it feels awesome.
Yeah.
People are
Like,
still going to
have that
farm
power
Shirochi and Grasp of
fantasy.
Avarice
It's
because
also
other
too,
people
no, you're
can't
getting
steal
some,
your
some
kills
cred
there.
in chat for your ability to dispatch champions. I don't know why people are asking about a Bungie dev fighting champion mobs. I don't know if that's a reference to something, but you'll have to remind us in chat. I don't know if I recall that moment necessarily.
Poor Joe, man.
I know what they're talking about.
He's
I'm
never
telling you,
he's never
I'm
living that
guy.
down.
I'll drop the Bungie ad. I don't care, man. Check me out.
I believe you,
I
honestly.
envy that level of confidence.
Yeah,
I'd be dead.
I
Poor
hide in the
Joe, he
background.
didn't
I have
deserve
my
it.
name in game is just Andy, and I hide amongst a field of other Andys with all of our little hash numbers at the end of our name, honestly. Though if you see the one with the dead man's tail, you know that's me for certain.
Great weapon. One of my favorites, honestly.
Bro got fucked up by an overload champion.
It's just
The
like my
community
favorite
is
gun
not
in any
living it
video game
down.
ever, honestly. It's
Okay,
really,
but
really good.
why are you defeating that
No,
enemy?
then
Do
again,
you
we'll
have
get
to?
along.
Oh,
We
you
don't
have
know.
to defeat the
Okay,
3
so we're
Wolfkeepers.
back
Okay.
on the pyramid ship.
Yes,
Also,
every
The
6
infamous
waves,
Joe
actually, you're
overload,
gonna-
yeah.
Thank
Hey,
you.
on the
lurking, by the
6th
way.
wave of each thing, so 6, 16, 26, 36, etc.
Okay.
You will take the fight to the witness and have a cool little encounter that's, it feels like an action movie. You and your
It does
team
it.
get
It's
to
just
run
the same
down
area
against
and the
waves,
same pyramid ship, and it's been
against
that
waves of
3
combatants,
times
in
so
this
far.
hallway, and then there's an invincible warden at the end.
And you just
the only way
hold
to
W.
dispatch him and
Like,
move on.
why
Get the
would
W.
you shoot these enemies?
like
Yeah,
that.
see,
Oh,
like
and
he's
you
doing
will
it. You just
little
hold
breather.
W.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at all the waves.
Also,
Like,
too,
he's
actually,
not- he's
keep
not
your own
dying,
from a
right?
lore standpoint. From a mechanic standpoint, obviously this helps make sure that we're pushing forward in the activity and we've got an appropriate challenge. But why are the Guardians able to go ahead and even head back into these pyramid ships to go
It
ahead?
took us a long time to gain that power.
Yeah.
And now it's sort of permeable. It can go both ways, right?
Yeah.
The Witnesses' forces are much more able to access our space, as we can see right there in
Certainly.
the middle of Midtown. But we are also able to access their space more.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's a double-edged sword,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Okay.
They opened that door. Now they can't take
That's
it back.
right,
The
yeah.
Guardians are
All
gonna be
I
in
want to
there
know is,
emoting
are
and
there
meddling
more
and having a
maps than
grand
just
old time.
Midtown? At the very least, are there
See,
more
there
maps
we
than just
go.
Midtown?
Let's go ahead and flex your raid emotes. It's all right. Let's get it out of the
Like,
way.
because there's like what 3
I
Last
say
City
that
Crucible
bitterly
maps?
jealous because I don't have any of them.
Maybe we'll get Twilight Gap as well. That might make
27,
sense,
all right.
right?
Oh my lord.
Yeah, this is starting to get spicy out here.
All right. Let's lock in, guys.
Probably a weekly thing. I fucking hope not.
Sorry, we're just making it more theatrical.
I thought they said Into
Yeah,
the
we
Light would
totally
be
are
all
trying
available
to.
in one go.
It's super easy.
I just know I'm going to turn a corner and there's going to be the cursed thrall. Like,
Bonus objective. What
Right
is
there.
it? Capture.
you see it.
They're the game just crash in the middle of the dev stream?
All tapped.
All tapped? Okay, all right.
Technical
Oh,
difficulty.
just all tap? Okay.
I was like, as
that
it turns
building
out,
scene
yep,
behind
everyone,
the screen.
Yep. Also, too, just
go.
for everyone's awareness, too, we're here live in the dev
Okay, no, they
environment.
just all
So
tap.
what you're seeing is obviously a quick peek behind the scenes. But yeah, we're obviously working off of a dev build right now.
That's fucking hilarious. Gameplay is not final, subject to change.
My favorite is the like quick draw gunslinger one.
Yeah, fucking open it.
I actually just bought it. I was like, I need it.
The solar one that kind of does like
Yeah.
the twirl around his finger. Oh yeah.
I was like, I need that. So I'll give up anything.
God.
I got it. I think it was it Guardian Games last year where you got the chair to go ahead and just send them flying at 1,000 miles an hour.
it's hard to beat the
never
chair.
gets old. Yeah, absolutely never gets old.
Yeah, it's like Ashley.
Yeah, I hope that this is the normal difficulty. Uh-oh.
To be good.
Tormentor.
They've been doing this for
Yeah.
months. I mean, they
Again?
don't really have the technically.
I saw defeat the Tormentor
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
in there.
that's
I
right,
don't
yeah.
I don't see one,
in our
but
hearts.
No, it really, that's going to be for players, right? We want
Yeah, certainly.
all of you to be able to hop in this. Again, yeah, this is available for all players.
Yeah.
Which is also really exciting. It's kind of like a big gift from all of us here.
is this a
From all of
permanent
you,
activity, or does this go
out there,
away
all
when
of our
Final Shape
guardians, our
launches?
community.
Yeah.
So, yes, thank you. We're excited to be able to, get you all buffed to take on the witness.
Yeah, is this-
You know, it's not going to be easy. Obviously, just another
You have to work.
opportunity to equip everyone.
You know what? I'm just
Something
gonna
I
put it
wanted
in
to mention,
here.
just to like get a little peek behind the curtain when it comes to our friend Spvwvky here, is he used to be the best decoy in the game, like better than
Who
all
knows?
his other
Maybe they'll
tiered
respond.
variants, because there was a bug where only the broom would take any damage, and as we see, he's really skinny, so he was like basically nigh untouchable.
Functionally immortal sweeper bot.
Oh my God.
Must be nice, obviously, just to have your Horcrux or whatever it is, right? But it's just his broom this time, as it would turn out.
We fixed it though.
Yeah, it's fair. All right.
World
we-
of Pyramid
yeah.
Ships.
It'll live
Okay,
on
so
again,
that,
another thing that
this
lives
is
on
this
strictly in
is
our hearts.
end of wave 30,
also,
so
too,
it
out of
should.
curiosity, Vadar477 in
It
chat
gets even
asks,
harder now.
Will there be, like, if you have just 2 people on your fire team and you want to go in solo, is there a private mode you can dive into this with?
I believe if you hop in the higher difficulties, you can do
Yeah.
that.
Excellent.
Yes!
Yeah, very cool. All right.
You can solo.
So everyone out there that
Okay.
wants to really challenge themselves.
Fantastic.
Maybe,
That's all I'm
attempt
here
to
for.
Solo all 50 waves? I think our running theory is that it's impossible.
I think it's
Nah,
not possible. That's my
people are
charge
doing
to
that
the
day
community.
one,
Can you beat
dude.
Legend solo by your like.
People are doing that
object
shit day
solo.
one.
Can you beat Legend solo?
I'm sure
If my
Snazzy Rock
teammate on
got
the
it.
social media team, Mitch, is out there watching while on vacation, so don't you dare be working. I think he's got that challenge cut out for
They
himself as
found
well.
they found the
I learned
Bungie
not to
name. They're sending
underestimate
friend
Destiny
requests now.
community at all.
You can see it in the
Especially,
bottom
like,
right.
Mission Whetstone, I thought it would take a lot longer for people to
Yeah.
do that. That was quick.
Yeah.
So,
Renaissance again.
you know.
I mean, honestly,
Players
we
are good.
underestimate the Guardians, much as the same as the Witness, at our own peril.
rift is
so
formed.
obviously, none of us want to do that. If anything, I'm just excited to go ahead and see this get in
Yeah,
players' hands
people
on
are
April 9th.
bombarding with
Yeah,
friend
of course.
requests
I'm
now
so
because
excited
they
to see,
saw
like,
the Steam
what
name.
strategies people come up with. As we see, we have another augment here where you are killing spark hoarders to spawn a spark, and when you dunk the rift, it actually does a chunk of damage to the boss. Which
Okay, but
you're
why
looking
would
at
you
the
do that?
At the health bar at the bottom, you'll see it does a decent amount. So when you
Okay.
get to
Oh,
bosses
hold
that are a
up.
little
How much does it
chunkier,
do?
These
Yeah.
are ways to do extra damage to them.
Bro, that is not worth
Jeez,
it.
yeah, okay. Not too shabby.
That is not worth it. Literally, just you get a
I am also
full
talented,
rally
and
before
I'm so
this
bitterly jealous
boss.
I don't have buried bloodline right now. Like, you're making it look so
You
good.
get a
I was gonna have to
full
carry it.
fucking rally
Good. It's a
on
good
like
gun,
legend
especially if
difficulty.
you're on
That
other
may be
subclasses.
worth
It's just
it.
free devour with
But-
the catalyst. You get devour and weaken.
You'd already
Pretty
be
much
if
on
they
demand,
all
like,
used their
It's also
supers and
too maybe a
heavy
small
ammo
thing,
on
but
that
my personal
boss, this boss would
favorite,
already
just
be
If I
dead.
had to pick a champion mod, and I know it doesn't work like that, but I do have to give credit to anti-barrier.
But, like,
'Cause
no
it's every
one's
single
actually
variant. It doesn't
shooting
matter
at the
if it's a hive
boss, so
mind shield,
obviously
doesn't
it's
matter
taking
if
longer.
If a Taken Vandal goes ahead and puts their shield up, or if a Hobgoblin goes ahead and cloisters up, like, it's just like, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna keep shooting you right in the face. This is not how
God.
this works for you.
Okay.
What happened? All right, we're out of stream veto moments, obviously. No,
that
I'm
didn't
sorry,
happen.
but this chain. you have to
Bro,
live
they
with.
all
That didn't
fucking
happen.
died.
Are
Are
you sure
you
you want to
kidding
have
me?
your Bungie ID still?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do
Okay,
it.
all right.
I don't back down.
I'll leave it to you on Twitter. That's fine.
Weapon level 141. Okay. Hey, you're actually using your heavy now.
Our own peril we underestimate. So is this the final boss encounter in the pyramid for this particular wave?
Yes, for this particular wave, I think we're on wave 30.
Yes.
Which means we're on our last wave, which is
Here we
take
go.
the fight to the boss
So it's
again.
definitely a little bit beefier than the last
Wait,
two
I thought
bosses.
they said it
Yeah.
went up
We're
to
gonna
50.
Three laps.
and
This is-
kill it in
this is
one
more of a
shot.
trial.
Here we go.
There we go.
So and also too is that dunking mechanic that does extra damage to the boss. That's just is that like a modifier that kind of gets randomly added
waves
with
and
each particular
onslaught.
boss?
Hey,
That's
there's
the-
a
one
hung
of those
jury.
augments, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So there's no guarantee you're going to get that one necessarily.
Nope.
Even better. Excellent. All right.
Let me guess, he's not actually allowed to pick up the
Guys,
loot.
let's do the emote. No.
50 is only for the higher difficulty version. That'd be kind of
all right, let's keep running more waves. Also, too, actually,
annoying.
I saw a question pop up in chat. Again, I apologize. I missed the name. Twitch chat is moving fast, but thank you to all you Guardians for joining us. Is there any kind of a timer present in this activity, or do you just get to dive in and take your time?
The only timer is actually present in the purchase phase. We want to kind of keep that fast-paced flow going.
Yeah.
But otherwise, we just have the timer ticking up to see how long your session has been. But
Okay.
yeah, there's no timer. We're not counting down like 10 minutes to beat a whole wave or something.
The only real fail condition is the fire team alive and is 80.
Okay, so respawning is now finally
Okay.
restricted
And again, once the
after
ADU is
30
gone,
waves.
that's it.
They're
That's it.
40
Lose
minutes
on wave
in, and
one
only
somehow.
just now
That-
respawning
Generally,
has
we want to be
got
pretty
restricted.
clear about our failure conditions. We don't want to stack.
Yeah.
A bunch of like oh, you have to.
That's fair.
Oh.
There's like a A and B
Okay,
and C,
so
not
difficulty
something
is
like that.
going
Okay.
up. These
And
enemies
again,
are
you're
actually
only defending
swords
against
now.
one
That means
ADU
they're
kind of
minus
will
10 or
transition
15, I
Only the
think.
current ADU. It will move with you.
Got it. Okay, thank you. That's perfect. Also, to chat, I see you asking for information on the loot to show us what weapons are on the way. Tune in next week. We'll have plenty. For you.
Why
Promise you that.
why are they drip feeding information like that, man? It's
Shax is. If you go into the lore, Shax
they should have
is
literally just done
working
all
with,
of this in one go. I genuinely think that would have been
Some
better.
folks, some characters from the past.
That's right, yeah.
And also opening up his private reserve for our use.
Yeah.
So
So
Could be exciting.
is this something Shax has been sitting on for a while, or has he been working on this behind the scenes?
Well, there've been some weapons that have
That
been
Curse Thrall
frowned
explosion
upon
did
in
fuck
the
all
Chronicle.
damage to the ADU.
And, but now's the time to bring those out.
yeah.
Anything
Vanguard
that-
outlawing stuff is not something we have time for at this point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if it's dangerous, now's the time to bust it out.
All the better. Obviously, yeah.
High risk, high reward. That's how I see it.
And we, if anything, are facing down our biggest risk in the Witness so far, obviously. So making sure that Shax goes ahead and opens those coffers, nothing short of generous, I'll say. Just
You have a heavy weapon. Use
have you
it.
improved ability regeneration right now, or are you just that good?
That's what, I feel like you're
Consider
not
that.
hearing me. I'm that guy.
Trophy of Bravery. You
You have mentioned that once or
Noah
twice,
plays a
actually. I don't know.
Noah maybe plays
I wonder
an
what that's
healthy
for.
amount of Destiny.
Sometimes
Probably
I
like
will-
a focusing
Not
currency.
even sometimes. Oftentimes I get off work and immediately I'm like, okay.
I think there was
That was
a
on
And
there,
immediately
by the
he's
way.
like
I'm not sure
dead.
if you saw that.
But I immediately get on and play. I do raids and dungeons. I mean, I've been doing a lot of the coil recently.
Yeah, my
Rosaraga.
My dad and I end up playing this game a lot, and so basically every single day after work, it's just
cool.
like us texting each other, being like, "Hey, so when are you hopping on? When are you done with dinner?"
That's fun.
How
I
healthy
imagine
is the
we'll probably more so do
ADU?
the
I
easy
want to
modes,
see.
but I've got my
Because
Nightfall
they're
which I could dive in here with.
they're
Although
having
honestly, I think at
so
this point,
many
he's more
enemies.
paid my dad than any of us, so I think
Like,
we'd have no problem diving in here.
absolutely
That's awesome to hear.
smother
That's what
that
Destiny's
ADU.
all about,
It's
right?
barely
Yeah,
at
bringing people together.
80%.
Yeah.
Like, how do you actually fail this?
All right, things getting pretty intense.
Like, I feel like the only fail condition is wiping past wave 30. I don't
Let's see.
think you're going
Out
to
of
fail
curiosity
to
as
the
well,
ADU
I'm not sure
running
if
out
you
of health.
mention this one, but
At least
is,
not at the
Tom,
moment.
is there a light level increase with Into the Light, or is this still at 1830? I believe it is.
It is at the current power.
Current power? Cool.
Current power.
That
No
hasn't
light
changed.
level increase. Fantastic.
Thank you, Nikki Knight, for that question as well.
Oh, it's time. I can make
it time?
a super. Okay, no. I don't have enough for that. Nice.
How much scrap you sitting on right now?
I was on 5,000.
Okay.
Spend scraps.
Oh, I was too late.
Wrapped for cash.
Scrap
I
for
wasn't playing
cash.
dungeon. You got on the
narrative
team,
department.
Honestly, that
All right.
is-
I hate
I
that
wanna
you
say
can't
obnoxiously
upgrade
good. It's
your
like- so
stuff
it's like, man, we appreciate
during
it.
a
You guys are
wave.
just
You can
stealing
only
our
do it
time.
in between waves. I'm not a huge fan of
Want to
that.
write tweets? No.
Like, I feel like if you're spending the time to upgrade something mid-wave, you should be given that opportunity.
Remaining intense. And again, we're still fighting the Hive. We were fighting the Fallen earlier.
Oh my, please.
So there will be multiple sets of.
Are there also
armies going
Cabal?
ahead
Probably
and
not,
this
right?
activity.
It's probably just House
Usually just
Salvation
one
and like
super run.
Zivu's Hive,
Yeah,
right?
For the sake of the developer tools, went ahead and just swap that over just so folks can get a look.
What's the revive timer?
You know
It's
it's
about
getting
20
harder
seconds,
when,
25
Noah stops
seconds.
I know, right? Yeah.
collecting. He's actually
Okay.
having
There's
Yeah,
a lot
it's
going
25
on,
seconds
you know?
revive timer.
Fairness. And I think also, too, this is something we sort of touched on yesterday when we were doing our initial playthroughs, but especially when you get to these higher levels and it's not just kind of the, you know, the proverbial, comparatively speaking, walk in the park that the first few are, like, you really got to keep your comms crisp with your team. You got to make sure
I would
you're
hope
really
there are
aligning,
Cabal. Maybe
not even
there's
necessarily your
Shadow
champion
Legion.
mods,
There
but
might
maybe
be. I
sending
haven't
your
seen him
scrap
yet,
to one
but
part to really go ahead and stymie the bad guys there so you can focus your attention, your abilities, your supers on another lane. Actually, also, too, to that end, obviously the you know, pyramids have been doing some terraforming, but you know, Tom, when you guys were building this activity, How are you guys going about even changing these maps? It looks like you guys have changed the architecture in some pretty significant ways.
Yeah.
So when we look
Bro,
at
this
these maps,
dude's
we wanna
ass.
have,
I'm
like,
sorry.
a bunch of distinct lanes for the enemies to kind of like attack the ADU from, and they give you like these fronts that you have to divide your attention across the team. So you really have to be like, oh, they're coming from the left, they're coming from the right. You take this way, I take that way.
Yeah.
And like a lot of times in these maps, they're great for
I do
PvP,
really hope the Stardew
but they
update
didn't have
drops in
lanes
like
when
the
you needed
next
it, and the
hour and
artists
10
and
minutes,
designers
because
would be
I'm
like, oh, like, what if,
I have a
like, the
Stardew
pyramids
stream planned,
just like evaporated this building
and the
right
update
here.
isn't out yet.
And
It's like, great, let's do it.
yeah, and that really, so we had to open up some channels in here, and like that, we got the great.
Otherwise, I guess we got to play some Destiny, right?
Forces, it's not,
Until the Stardew update's out.
Yeah. All right, and also too, I'm getting some word from the Traveler in the Sky. No, I hate to break it to you, but we have come to the end of our gameplay segment. You must return from your throne world.
I think I performed pretty well.
I'll be the first to
You-
agree with
you did
especially
not.
because I don't want to have to face you down in this activity. I want your help, honestly. When it
Yeah,
comes
we'll just
down.
You
1v1
did not. You
in
did
the food
okay.
store sometime.
Yeah.
You were
And
the
also, too, I
average
think,
blueberry that
I
I'd run
think
into in a
this is
strike.
going to happen. We maybe won't say where, but this isn't the only location that players are going to have.
Thank
this
fuck.
slot available.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, there will be more than that, obviously. Noah, welcome back from the Throne World. It's good to see you.
I got a lot of tithes. I'm
No,
feeling
you-
like
no.
I feel like Eris and I are comparable right now.
So you're going to turn into a hive? Never mind. I don't want to attempt turning into a hive god. That's fine. We'll leave that for your
That's the next
adventures.
expansion.
Obviously, that's true. Yeah, we'll see.
He didn't perform poorly.
Noah,
It's just
thank you very much for taking
average,
us through
like
that. And
strike
of course, for
match
everyone
made
here in
player.
Twitch chat, thank you for joining us. But before we go ahead and head on out, we obviously, this is just kind of the first look at what's to come in Destiny 2 Into the Light. Again, as a reminder, we're going to be doing 3 streams showing up all of this content that's going to be coming out.
What's in
available
the
to all
third
players.
stream?
And of course, before we go ahead and head off, Tom, you guys have all worked so heavily on this activity. Tom, we'll start with you. When Onslaught releases, when it gets in players' hands on April 9th, what are you most looking forward to?
I really want to see what players do with the defenses. I want to see like
Yeah.
what their strategies are. I know Noah's got his strategies. I've got mine. Maybe mine are a little less developed than his. And just to be able to like see. Also, it's a great time to get back in and play. It's gonna be a great time to play Destiny. It's gonna be like new activities, tons of rewards. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna be hopping in with me and my sons.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. Yeah, Jerome, as someone who's gone ahead and helped craft this story to bring this to life, obviously to make sure it fits into the Destiny universe so well, what are you most looking forward to when this releases on April 9th?
First of all, people getting absolutely hyped out of their minds for the final shape, and I want to see
I'm
what
not.
builds arise out of this. It's a kind of a different strategic calculus than we've seen before, so I want to see how the players innovate and deal with this new challenge.
Strategic calculus. I'm gonna file that one away. That's
I
the
need to
narrative,
be
everyone.
shown a
Just
lot
making it
more
all
to be
like that.
hyped for final shape
And
at the
of course,
moment, guys.
Noah, you've helped brick by brick put this together, this brand new activity. As someone who's obviously spent a ton of time playing it in addition to developing it. When it gets out into the wild, when you've got the chance to play it with your friends, what do you?
Yeah,
most
it's a
looking forward
turret, a
to?
decoy, and trip mine,
Forward
which
to
all have
just
preset
getting my
spawns. You
reps
can't
in,
really have
seeing how far we can
strategies.
get,
It's just
especially on Legend. Get extra rewards, have an extra difficulty, just have fun with friends and trying to see like Jerome was saying, like what builds arise, like what cool stories.
the builds are not changing.
We saw,
It's
yeah,
just
big
a horde
tormentors show up
defense.
and, like,
People
all
are
these
gonna
different
bring
things,
their
those little
usual
immersion moments
stuff.
are what really makes Onslaught special at the end of the day.
Like, it's
And
not gonna
I'm really proud of
change.
what the team and everyone has done. Like I'm a very small part of a larger team.
And I
Teams
guess
are
that's a
way
larger
better than
issue
Heroes.
with Destiny at the
And,
moment.
But
But
everyone has done
people
such a
are
great
not
job
going to
building
bring new
Onslaught,
and
curating
unique
something
builds
to the
into
light. I'm
this
so excited
activity,
for
at least
what's gonna
not
show
on
up in these
Legendary.
next live streams.
Awesome. Yeah, and thank you guys all 3 for being here today to represent the team and help us kind of, show this first glimpse at Into the Light. to all
So
the
next
players out
week
there.
we're getting
Obviously, it's
weapons.
pretty great
What are
to
we
have you guys
getting in
here.
week 3?
Bright and early in the morning.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Yep. All right, everyone. Well, I believe that's it from us here at Bungie HQ. As a quick reminder, again, we'll be back next week at the same Bungie time, same Bungie place to show you some even more content about Into the Light, including some returning Guardian favorite weapons, which you may have gotten a glimpse of today, a brand new look at an all-new social space as well that you can take your fire team down to, and even more information about upcoming rewards. Before we obviously set it off, I want to again thank our guests here for joining us today, to the entire Destiny development team who behind the scenes right now is working on this content, bringing it to life for all of us. Thank you all so much for your hard work.
That's
To
the
Clayton and
final
Ashley,
shape
our play
reveal
testers in the back who
trailer
went ahead and helped fill out the
music
fire
in the
team.
background.
Getting some waves. There we go. Thank you very much. To the amazing team of producers who are here putting on the show, thank you all so much. Genuinely, it's amazing to have all of your assistants. They have the distinct difficulty of making me look good on camera, so believe me, their work is cut out for them. And to our team of moderators in chat, you're the real heroes. Thank you so much for your time. But in the meantime, again, reminder, we'll be back next week at the same time and place to show you even more content. But until then, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see y'all Starside.
All right. I have thoughts. Hey, I guess this is the first time we're hearing this piece of music without any cutscene or trailer sound effects. That's pretty neat. Do we actually get to hear the full thing? Concerned Ape tweeted he's making coffee. I noticed. So the update should be out on time. Ba-da-da-dum. Ba-da-dum. Yeah, we're actually hearing this without trailer sound effects. Nice. Please play it at the start again. Oh! Bro, they... I'm sorry. Oh my god. They just fucking pulled the plug out of the computer. They didn't even stop the stream. They just pulled the plug. This screen only shows up if the stop streaming button wasn't pressed, but instead Twitch lost connection with the person streaming, which means they either just Alt F4'd their OBS or they jacked out their fucking internet cable. Like, they didn't press the stop streaming button. They... Okay, well... Okay, I have some thoughts, which I guess we should talk about, and I'm gonna do that over Spider Swarm, because Spider Swarm's a fucking banger. I need to normalize my volumes again, because I had to massively boost the volume of everything, to, like, even make this sound fine and normal. So I have to massively reduce the volume of everything, which is really annoying, but whatever. Okay, I have some thoughts. First of all, activity in the last city? Cool. Legitimately. Like, cool concept for an activity, reusing old Crucible maps, to turn it into like a PvE wave defense thing. Yeah, I'm all for that. Right? We've never fought enemies on these Crucible maps before. It's all just been for PvP. So, kind of reusing those arenas is great. And I think that is fantastic content reuse, especially for something that has to be developed in such a short amount of time, right? So, on that note, fantastic. You know, good job. That looks fun. The only thing that I want to know is it like that activity kind of looks like the counterpart to the coil, because the coil is really like you're on a timer, often you have to execute mechanics, enemies keep getting more difficult, and it feels like you have to constantly push forward and make yourself more powerful in the process. Whereas this is, you're kind of stuck in one spot, and instead of you going to the enemies come to you, but it's still like that escalating difficulty activity that can easily last an hour if you're all the way in, like, if you're all the way at wave 50, right? I just want to see what the actual legendary difficulty looks like. I, at the moment, was not really captured by the difficulty that was seemingly on display, because there was no difficulty on display, at least nothing that, you know, your usual 20,000 ad clear builds could deal with. So, like, they really have to turn it up for the legendary difficulty, if they want to, like, capture my interest. But the fact that, you know, legendary difficulty doesn't have matchmaking, so you can go in solo, that's pretty good. So, yeah, like, it depends on how that difficulty is. In terms of the actual stream itself, though, I want to speak to the marketing expert that decided that this should be split into 3 separate, drawn-out streams. Because I think, right now, everyone is so apathetic towards Destiny that drip-feeding announcements like this is a horrible idea. Like, you know, they should have either delayed this stream, like until like April 9th, until launch day. Like, do this stream an hour before Into the Light comes out, just on launch day, as they usually do. I feel like ever since the first big dry spell post-Taken King, Bungie's been horrified of any nothing periods and now drip feeds like crazy. The thing is, like, the drip feeding information can still happen. It's what happens in the TWIDs every week, right? They share, like, these are upcoming balance changes or upcoming system changes, or this event is happening in 2 weeks, or we're making these updates to PvP, or, you know, they have their information drip. But when it comes to actually new playable content, like, they just casually dropped at the end of today's stream, there's gonna be a new social space, and they've been casually hinting at some weapons returning. Like, we only saw a reprised hung jury, which, I mean, kind of stinks because that was a Nightfall weapon. And now that's available, like, in a activity that has a really low difficulty floor. Like, that feels a little weird. That was a Nightfall weapon. What happened? Right? So they hinted at a whole bunch of different things, but my response to that is not, oh, I'm excited to see that next week. What's stopping you from showing that this week, right? Like, what people need right now is they need to be blown away by something. I think the average Destiny player with half a brain cell knows that this update isn't going to be too massive, right? If you think about it for just a second, this update's going to be smaller than the average season that we get. I think everyone knows that. I think everyone's aware of that if you really think about it. It's also free, so, like, the budget is going to be smaller because they can't make any money from it. So, no, I think most people with half an ounce of a brain cell know that this is just going to be a small update to roll us over into the next era of Destiny, right? And yeah, it's like, Archer, it's like what you're saying. Bungie needs to learn that it's okay to have content droughts. The thing is, most people that I've spoken to are planning to, at most, log into day 1 of Into the Light, play it, see what new stuff there is, and then log back out, and then wait until Final Shape comes out. Most people are already waiting for Final Shape, and if they're gonna have to watch 3 separate streams to know what's coming before then, like, I'm losing interest before I've even watched them, right? I've watched this first one now, I have lost interest in the other 2. Because now I'm like, if they're gonna be drip feeding that information anyway, I'll just look at what's in the game on launch day. Like, why should I wait until, or why should I watch like a 1-hour stream every week? Why should I watch a stream every week to know the information that I can figure out in 5 minutes when this comes out? This should have just been a stream that they did on the launch day of Into the Light. Maybe they have something else planned. You know, they said that they were going to show more of Final Shape in April. I don't know if they'd be doing that like the week after Into the Light. Maybe they're doing that right before Into the Light comes out. I don't know. But I think that they should have just condensed this all down to one stream. And even if that's like an hour and a half or 2 hour stream, just show off a trailer, show off this is the new stuff coming to Into the Light, here's some of the new weapons, here's the new activity, we're only showing 5 minutes of it because if you want to experience it for yourself, you can just go play it. Here's the new social space, you can go there in an hour when the update comes out. Like, this has left me with way more questions about Into the Light, because what is this update actually? Like, they did mention some narrative stuff and some story stuff, but are there going to be actual story missions? Like, is there going to be a weekly story? Is there going to be... They mentioned lore on some of these weapons, but are there actually going to be, like, new voice lines or new developments? This entire stream has essentially told me new activity in the last city, the end, right? That's kind of it. Some weapons returning, but they only mentioned one. A new social space, but they didn't mention where or why. So I'm just confused, right? The stream has left me confused. I'm excited to see it in game, and I'm definitely looking forward to playing that, and I will be playing that on day one when that comes out, which I believe is April 9th, so that is 3 weeks from now. I will be playing that when this comes out. Yeah, everyone knows which gun's back, thanks to Eververse rotation leaking. Yeah, D1 tower? Yeah, no, the thing is, I don't think it would be the D1 tower. Because they're saving the D1 tower is gonna be in final shape, right? So, unless they've, like, just pulled that forward, the D1 tower was going to be in the Pale Heart, right? So I guess if they bring that back now, like, good for them, but yeah, it's just I'm excited to play what they showed today. I don't think it will keep me playing Destiny for the 3 months in between. Or is it only 2 months? It is only 2 months, right? I don't think this will keep me playing for the 2 months between Into the Light and Final Shape. I think I will log on a couple times, play that new activity, maybe grind out one of the weapons if it seems to be good. In before the new social space, the part of the city we would explore for 5 minutes, way back before Beyond Light. You mean the part of the city that they put as the social space for Solstice of Heroes in 2018? You mean that space? And that they then reused for the Seasons of Arrivals, for the Season of Arrivals event? Because that was just an old space. Initially, when we saw the key art, I speculated with some people saying that was probably the Year 1 Solstice space. Because it kind of looked like it from that angle. But no, so it was just Midtown. Yeah, like, I would be okay to have that space back, but, like, I don't know, it's just, why do I care? The main issue that I have with this stream, and the way that they've marketed this, is it doesn't answer my question of why should I care. They're assuming that I care, because it's new Destiny content. They're assuming that I want to play because it's a preparation for the Final Shape. They're assuming that I want to play because there is new unspecified weapons and a new unspecified social space. But that's not the case, right? This doesn't actually tell me why I should log in. It doesn't tell me why I should log in for this update. It's just, here is a new activity. We're not going to tell you what the rewards are. We're only going to be very nondescript with it, saying, oh, if you do it on a higher difficulty and reach wave 50, you get double rewards, whatever that is. because we don't know what the rewards are, because they said come back next week and then watch another 50-minute stream. Right? So I'm out here basically demanding for Bungie to fight for my attention. Like, I want them to, like, I don't care at this point if they're desperate, right? And just say, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this. We're showing everything. Here's everything that you're going to be playing. I don't care if they're making me watch a 3-hour stream to do that. But why are they being so secretive? Like, this is all stuff that we are going to be hearing in the first 10 minutes of this content drop being out. Like, people will have figured out everything by the end of day 1. And I think kind of just... it's complicated. It is complicated. Because I do really, really want them to like, take me back, right? I would love if what this update did brought me back in. I know I'm never gonna be the kind of Destiny player that I used to be anymore. I'm not gonna be the kind of person that that plays daily raids like 6 times a week, does everything on the day that it releases, because, you know, I'm a full-time creator now who plays a shitload of games. I'm a music producer who is doing a lot of commissioned work for different people. Like, I don't have the time anymore. Well, I would have the time if I wanted to only exclusively play Destiny, but that is never going to happen again, right? That is quite literally never going to happen anymore. But what I want is, I want to feel like I can sit down behind my PC and go, you know what? I haven't logged on to Destiny in a little bit. I'll log on and have some fun. But right now, like, there's already so much apathy in just the act of clicking that button to open the game. Because every time I think about it, I should go back into Destiny, I'm like, okay, but why? Why should I open the game? And that's kind of a grave that Bungie has dug for themselves, is live service games need to give purpose to everything, right? Is it new loot that is better than what you had? Is it a new piece of content that you haven't played yet? Destiny is a game that for years, I have not been able to just log into to have fun. It always had to have a purpose. You always had to get something out of it. Whether that was the weekly reset happened and you could do your raids again, so you could get a couple of red border weapons, or whether it was you hadn't gotten the most recent dungeon exotic yet and you haven't done your clears on all characters yet, so you go and do it. Right? It's... That's kind of the grave they dug for themselves, is that everything needs to have a purpose, but we're at the point now where I don't see any purpose anymore of logging in. Because, like, sure, Into the Light's gonna have some reprised weapons, but, like, why do I care? Why should I care about those weapons when I already have every single weapon I could ever want, crafted, enhanced perks, all that? Unless there is straight up more power creep, I don't need it. But the thing is, even if there is more power creep, and even if those new weapons are just, like, straight up better, like, I heard some of the prophecy weapons that they reissued like 2 weeks ago are really, really good. But the thing is, power creep with Bungie's loot has gone so far that the upgrades are no longer necessary. Like, I have not spent any time in an activity and thought, damn, my weapons are not good enough, or damn, I could use, or I could do with some better weapons, right? I haven't had that basically since, I don't know, I want to say like Season of the Seraph? Season of Plunder? Probably. Somewhere. somewhere there. Because the thing is, all the while, weapons and abilities have gotten more and more powerful, and they keep introducing more powerful stuff. And then the enemies are still at the same level that they were 5 years ago. The enemies have not changed since Destiny 2 came out in 2017. The only thing that's changed is that they added some new enemies. Like, you know, we got the Scorn in Forsaken. Then in Beyond Light, we got Briggs and Wyverns. Then in Witch Queen, we got the Hive Guardians. Then in Lightfall, we got Tormentors. But, like, nothing has changed on the enemy AI front. We are still fighting. In 99% of content, we're fighting enemies that we could fight 6 years ago in 2018, right? In 99% of content, it's just those enemies. And then occasionally, sure, there will be a Tormentor for like a minute, or a Brig, or a Wyvern, or God forbid, a Hive Guardian. And you'll fight those for 30 seconds, and then you're back to the same enemies that you fought 6 years ago. Right? So, it's just, why do I need, I don't need better weapons anymore at this point. Sure, there might be a new submachine gun in Prophecy that is better than Extraordinary Rendition. Or other, like, kinetic options. But why should I care when I already have a whole bunch of crafted primary weapons with enhanced perks, with the exact stats that I want it to have, that already mows down basically any enemy that you throw at me, no matter the difficulty? Give me a reason to care. You know what? Fuck it. I'll say it. I miss sunsetting. I said it. There. Let me explain. I don't miss the implementation of sunsetting as it was back when Beyond Light came out. I think sunsetting was implemented poorly. I think it was not done well. It felt like your weapons were just being robbed from your inventory and you couldn't use them again, and there was nothing to replace it. Right? Sunsetting felt bad. However, it was also really, really fucking necessary. Because our weapons had gotten to a point where they were so powerful that with the resources Bungie had available, because they didn't have time to make an entire new enemy faction, or, okay, Cloud, to explain to you, what sunsetting was basically, all items in Destiny have a power level attached to it. And every time a new major update comes around, the maximum power level increases. And the new activities will use those new higher power levels. So you need to grind to get your level back up. What sunsetting essentially did is it says, when a new weapon comes out, you'll be able to increase it to that maximum power level for about a year. And then after that year is over, when the next power increase comes, you won't be able to upgrade that weapon to the new maximum power level anymore. So basically that means that in the newest content in the game, so the new raids, the new dungeons, the higher difficulty nightfalls, you won't be able to use that weapon anymore because its power level is too low, essentially giving each weapon a shelf life. So that you are essentially forced to keep changing your arsenal. You were forced to keep getting new weapons, and you were always interested in the new weapons because you'd only have a couple months left of the weapons you were currently using, and you should find replacements, right? Bungie needs to manually tweak things. Sunsetting was always just, but balancing is hard. Yeah, I mean, manually tweaking things is one thing, but I feel like we're at a point where manually tweaking things has become like a Sisyphean task. Because we're sitting on 4 years of weapons Three of those years, we're sitting on crafted weapons with the exact enhanced perk rolls that we want. We're sitting on 7 years of exotics and 7 years of exotic armor pieces. We're sitting on increased subclass power from from the Light 3.0 subclasses and from Strand. Like, there is so much to tweak, and there is so much to change that I'm pretty sure if Bungie genuinely wanted to stabilize the power levels of, like, all of the weapons in the game, they would have to just stop introducing new weapons for an entire year to just get that all done. And they would have to stop making new abilities for an entire year to get that all done. I don't think anymore that it is worth it to try and balance this game. This game is beyond balanceable. But what they can do is revitalize interest in new weapons. How many Season of the Wish weapons did you actually actively grind because you were interested in them? I think Bungie should just make a D3. I think a D3 is impossible at this point. Unless they've been working on it in the background for the last 3 years, I don't think that that's going to happen. New engine doesn't matter. I'm retired game developer here. The engine doesn't matter. Bungie's been upgrading the engine every single time a new expansion comes out. Why? Every time that a new expansion comes out and you have to re-download the entire game instead of just downloading an update, that's because they've upgraded their engine and everything's been recompiled. They don't need a new engine. The Tiger engine is working fine, right? That's not the issue. The issue is, the only thing a Destiny 3 would fix is that it gives us a hard reset. And I don't think we need a Destiny 3 for a hard reset. Like, I'll be entirely honest, I do not think we need Destiny 3 for a hard reset. They can do a hard reset, or they can at least reset a lot of weapons. They can reset a lot of weapons out of the game and say, these are now sunset. I personally think crafted weapons should go. Not just as in that everyone should lose their crafted weapons, but at the very least, weapons should not be craftable, and when they are craftable, they should not have enhanced perks. Crafted weapons were the biggest mistake Bungie has ever made to their loot game, because Destiny then was no longer a game where you grinded for new weapons. It was a, it just became a slot machine of waiting for red borders to appear and then sinking a whole bunch of your thousands and thousands of saved up resources that you've gotten over the last 7 years into getting the pixel perfect weapon, right? The way I would personally fix crafting is I would take red borders out. I would take enhanced perks out. No more enhanced perks. All of them are reverted back to normal. And the only way to then get crafted weapons is to just play the game, and by playing the game, eventually you'll unlock those patterns, right? By just playing the new activity. Rather than by using deep sight harmonizers or all that, it's just, let's say a new season comes out, and every single time you play that activity for like 3 hours, you get some progress towards a crafted weapon. And then eventually you'll be able to just craft it. But the thing that crafting should be, is it should be a stop or a limit to how much you have to grind. what I always envisioned crafting was gonna be is you're farming for a weapon, trying to get the best roll possible. And then, you know, you've been playing for 2 weeks, you still don't have your god roll. Eventually, you unlock the crafted pattern for it, and you can just craft your god roll so you don't have to grind any longer. So there's a hard limit on the amount of time that you have to spend on getting that perfect roll, right? I just heard that Stardew Valley is now available on PC. So the stream will be ending any minute now. We'll be going over to the Stardew Valley stream. But the 1.6 update is out now, which is fantastic. I can actually be happy again. Cool. So yeah, it's just what crafting ended up becoming was not that. Crafting ended up becoming the way to get the new best weapons, because they have enhanced perks, they have higher stat totals, you can pick the barrel and sights and mag perks, so you don't have to get a 5 out of 5 god roll anymore, you can just pick them. So crafted weapons are objectively better than regular weapons. They are just straight up objectively better. And I just like that. Because that means that now any weapon that drops for me from an activity instantly gets deleted, no matter what weapon it is, because I don't care. The crafted version of that weapon, even if the weapon that I got was a 5 out of 5 god roll and everything was perfect, I would still delete it. I would still delete it because the crafted version is just better and is just as easy for me to get. So there is 0 loot investment for me. Anyway, fuck. The Stardew 1.6 update is out. It's only 50 megabytes. Now, I do kind of wonder, I have to restart my Steam for the update to show. And I wonder if that's gonna break my VTube Studio. Yep, there it is. Oops. I was able to make a clean mix of the Final Shape trailer music thanks to stream. Mind if I drop it in your server? Yes, please. Thank you, Lorcan. Fantastic. Drop it in the music chat. So, chat, what I'm gonna do is first of all, I'm waiting for VTube Studio to restart. So y'all can actually fucking see me. There's also a new Destiny update that's taken priority. Yuck. No, give me Stardew. Oh, it's already done. Cool. Oh, there's VTube Studio. All right. Slowly coming back. They looped the first part right before the stream died, so I was able to get it all. Fantastic. Hell yeah. I'm going to take a short 30-minute break to grab some food, and then we will be back with the Stardew Valley update. I'm sending you all to the waiting room of that stream. So, if you want to see that, just stick around. It'll send you to a new tab, and we'll play some Stardew right as that goes live in about 30 minutes. So, thank you all for being here. Sorry I was a little negative at some points. I'll still be playing Into the Light when it comes out in 3 weeks. I probably won't do reactions to the other 2 streams now that I know, like, how kind of bland they are and how little content they're actually showing, so I'll probably just watch that on my own. But I'll make sure, I'll post my thoughts on Twitter, I'll post my thoughts in Discord. If you want to know my opinion, you can just ask, right? But I'll send you over to that, and I will see you all in 30 minutes for some Stardew 1.6, alright? Bye-bye!